Welcome back inside the Simplified Technology Solutions Intermissions Report. Austin Bruins, Fairbanks Ice Dogs from up here in Marshall, Minnesota. But before we go ahead and give you the recap of everything that's happened here in the first period so far in this game, let's go ahead and turn our attention to a conversation that I had earlier this week with returning Austin Bruin and fan favorite Garrett Dahm. Garrett, thanks so much for taking the time, jumping on here and talking with us. We've got a lot to cover. You know, we missed you all of last year as you spent some time up in the USHL with the Youngstown Phantoms. And I think that's where I want to start with you is just, you know, how was last season for you up in the USHL? What was some of those differences between the USHL and the NAHL? What did you like? What didn't you like? And what was your overall feeling of your season last year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, getting that next jump in tier one, you know, with juniors or junior A, I should say. Like, I mean, it's good. It's a tough league. Almost every player on every team is a Division I player, you know, and so that's obviously one of the difficult things going in there was every single night, like you had to be prepared because you're getting the best of the best in the United States for the certain age group. So that was definitely a tough part of last year. Another thing that I liked was that it was good for my development, you know, like obviously being here for 2 years before that helped. And then I went there and was playing against these top tier guys. And, you know, I developed more of my defensive game and, you know, just being more creative in the offensive zone, just different types of my game that maybe were lacking a little bit before. I was able to kind of learn off some of my teammates and some of the other guys that I played in the league, and was able to kind of implement that into my game more and more now.
Are some of those changes that you made, are you seeing that that's translating well to the North American game now that you're back here with the Bruins? I didn't really want to bring up the Bruins just yet. I was going to save that till the end, but you brought me to a great question. I mean, now some of those things that you worked on and you tweaked, is that paying off and paying some dividends down here in the North American League?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially like your teammates with these guys for 9 months. And these guys are, you know, I had one of my best friends last year was drafted in the NHL and we were stallmates and we were able to talk about things at intermission and in practice. And so some of the things like just that he did and that he saw, able to talk to me about it and share. And now, you know, during the games, I can kind of see where he says maybe do this instead of this, or why he does some of the certain things he does. I can see that in the North American League now, where makes the game a little bit, slows it down a little bit for me and makes it a little bit easier, so to speak.
When you talk about teammates, let's look at this Austin Bruins team. This is a team where you're coming back and you've got plenty of guys that you played with the last couple of years. You weren't here last year, but still Connor Millamock, Carson Riddle, Reggie Millet's back. Is that comfort level for you? Was that nice to come back to, knowing that you're going to know most of these guys? You already know how they play. And did that help make your decision a little bit easier?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. You know, whenever I found out that I was going to come back here, and then, you know, Carson and Connor are still here, and then Reggie ended up coming a couple weeks after me. But, you know, I mean, we've all developed greatly in these couple years or this year that I was gone. And, you know, I already know how they play, and all of us now are hopefully we're all committed to go to the next level in college. And so, you know, just playing with some certain guys that, you know, you've played with and you've built some chemistry up, it makes everything a little bit easier in practice and in the games.
Walk me through that decision a little bit for you to rejoin the Austin Bruins, because you were in Mercyhurst and you were ready and set, and you're, for all intents and purposes, we're going to start your freshman year there this year. But then things kind of changed for one reason or another, and now you're back with Austin. I like the way that it folded that way. I like having you back personally. But what was some of the thought process that was going behind that? Why did you end up deciding to go back to junior instead of starting your freshman year? And what was your thinking on that?
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of things kind of went into it, and with this year being so crazy with everything going on now, and with college, you never know like if you're going to play. And I kind of noticed that the North American League was playing almost every weekend, and you know, I still had a year of eligibility under my that I could still use. So, you know, I think that just one more extra year of development for me will be able to help me in the long run going back to Mercyhurst, and just kind of seeing where I'm going to fit in there. And, you know, it was nice going there at the beginning, just meeting all the guys, because there's only one senior. So when I go back next year, you know, it's going to be pretty much the same team and everything. So It was good. It was a tough decision for me. I mean, obviously I'm still gonna be doing school this year and everything with juniors, but I just think that Austin's just a great fit for me, and Steve and I have a great relationship, and just the boys with being back here, my teammates and my billets, and it's just a great situation here. So
And I imagine it's got to be okay as far as the Mercyhurst coaches are concerned, because they love their Austin guys, from Dante Sheriff to Kyle McClellan, who are already there. For you to come back to Austin and use that year of development in a year where you otherwise might only play in a handful of games at the college level, you are getting that development. So I'd imagine they were okay with you deciding to come back to Austin, right?
yeah, correct. They were very understanding about everything. I mean, I talked to them all about it, and they were understanding, and thought would be a good spot for me to go back if I wanted to use this extra year.
So is your goal all year long, since you've already got the commitment, you're going to be there next year, this is your final year of junior eligibility, is your goal this year to just continue to be a well-rounded hockey player and continue to work on all those skills so you can be the best player you can be when you get to Mercyhurst?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just using this extra year for more of a development for me, get bigger, because the guys I'm going to be playing against are obviously going to be bigger and faster and stronger. So for me, like, I need to put on a little bit of weight, and then also just develop more on the ice, and being able to do some more video and seeing things where I may lack in my game, where I could be able to develop those in those aspects, and become a better player that way.
Have you taken any steps in regards to that just yet? Have you started to watch a little bit more video or get into the weight room a little bit more often or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's great here now. We go to this new gym, and the workouts have been great, and I'm getting fed really well here with my billets. So that's good. And then yeah, I mean, video, we have a nice, like, we use Instat, and we get our shifts clipped and everything. So I'm able to go back and watch all of my shifts and all of the whole entire game, just watch everybody. And so that's good. And we can do that with coaches and everything. So I think that's helping out a lot.
Well, Garrett, I know everybody in the Austin community is happy to have you back and have a big name and a star player like yourself and a fan favorite on the ice playing for the Bruins. We're happy to have you. We're looking forward to a big 2021 calendar year out of you. I don't want to put too much over your head, but we're looking for a big year out of you. Thanks for coming on and doing the interview with me tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you soon. That was Bruins forward Garrett Dahm. We're coming right back. We got more on the Simplified Technology Solutions Intermission Report. Austin Bruins, Fairbanks Ice Dogs, more coming up after this. Stay tuned. This is Austin Bruins Hockey on Power 96 and Hockey TV.